Hello guys, welcome back, and today's video is not really a picking video, but I thought I'd better turn the camera on and kind of tell you what's been going on and show you what I've been getting up to basically. I've received quite a few locks in the past few days, so I thought I'd better show them to you. So first of all, on Saturday I received a package from Casper J82. I was really only expecting one thing, and that was my own Southward dimple pick. I had lent this to him quite some time ago for him to use as part of a starter set pass around with cutaway dimple locks and the Southward dimple pick. So I think that went well, and I got the pick back, but he also included a couple of very nice locks that I wanted to show to you. First of all, and it seems as if they were very carefully chosen locks, first of all a Squire Sal 40, and you may or may not know that I have been looking for one of these, so very happy to have one. And the key is a little bit sticky there, but it does work. Just like that. So I shall definitely have fun with that, and you'll no doubt see that in the future. I did get one from Andy H, but this is actually a challenge lock. Now unfortunately it's in this plastic bag because there wasn't a shim warning on this lock, and I took the lock apart but couldn't get it back together because I don't have a shim, which is a bit disappointing because I wanted to show it on video. So I'm going to have to return that to Andy H in pieces. So very sorry Andy, but please use shim warnings in the future. The second lock is a very odd lock actually. It's an Avocet. I've never picked an Avocet padlock before. And this one is particularly unusual because it's a closed shackle one and it's very very small. It's a 30mm padlock with a 5mm shackle and only 4 pins. There's a bitting, and this is quite an incredible lock. I've never seen anything like this, and I don't know what you'd actually use a closed shackle padlock of this size on, but very interesting. Also seems as if they've put the hardened stamp there on the wrong side. Don't know if that was an accident or what happened there. But anyway, I suppose we'd better pick this one on camera. I'll just pick it in hand. It's only a 4-pin lock, so it shouldn't be too hard to pick. And yep, we're open. Very nice, so thank you very much indeed, Casper J. And let me just zoom in a little bit and show you what else I got. So these I actually got from a relative, and I was kind of being a bit nosy and looking through his collection of locks, but I found a few locks that I was interested in, and they're not much use to him because he's not interested in lock sports. So first of all, this guard padlock, and this one's probably been in the family for a few years. You can tell by the key that it's quite old because it's got steel plating I believe, but it's actually worn down and you can see the brass through it. It's a guard padlock, and part of the reason I took this was because the shackle was actually seized. However, the key would turn and the shackle wouldn't open at that time, but when I pulled on the shackle whilst turning the key, I managed to get it to open, and I've smoothed it up a bit. The reason it was catching was because this part here, obviously the water has seeped in there and got trapped and corroded the shackle in there, but it's working really smoothly now, and the spring tension still seems to be pretty nice. I hate to think what the rest of the shackle down here looks like. It's only single locking, and it's actually a 5-pin lock, but pretty flat bitting. I have picked it, but no doubt you'll probably not see this in a future video. It's just a nice little project. What I was really interested in was this though, and I've seen this a few years ago, but then I wasn't so interested in locks, and this was a kind of scary thing I really didn't know what to do with this, but this was just hanging in the shed, and I don't really know much about it. What I do know for a fact, though, was that it was full of straw and stuff. It was almost like there was a bird's nest in here, but I pulled all that out with a pick, and there was very little play in the shackle. But I used WD-40 because that's the only thing I had, and actually managed to get this to at least move, which is quite nice. I've looked in here and I can see all 4 of the levers. They do move, and I can also see the bolt there. I don't know if we could get a good shot in here. Probably not. I'm sure you can see a few things there. Oh, you can see the levers and also the bolt right at the back there. There's 4 of them, as it says here, secure 4 lever. I'm sure once upon a time this would have had a flap on here, a sliding flap, but most likely it's broken off and got lost. Now, I'm not sure if this was just a generic padlock or if it actually had a brand. It could be possible that there was a brand on the flap, but when the flap is missing, it's not much use. We don't know what brand it is. So if you do have any idea what brand this is, I would love to know. And unlike a lot of the other lever padlocks I've seen, the rivets here are countersunk. They're not actually exposed, which is a really nice thing. I figured out how to tension it, but well, I have and I haven't. I know how to tension it, but I just can't get enough tension on there to cause those levers to bind. So we'll maybe work on that a bit more in the future. And what I got today from a trade with a UK Lock Sports member was this little guy here, and this is a quite cool lock. This is a Squire stronghold, and this is really a piece of history. And I could not find even a picture of this on Google, so that's quite impressive. It's a Squire number 43. It's one of the strong locks. Now let's see if we can get some zoom here. Our lighting just isn't good enough, I don't think, for you to read what's on there. I think it's actually a bit too bright. But it's Willenhall, made in England, and Henry Squire and Sons. Oh, that's actually not too bad an angle. And on the top we have a little patent number, and an interesting mark right there. When we open the shackle, we can see that. There's a mark there. I don't know what that's all about. But this is a piece of history, really, because they don't make them anymore. I think the only ones that are still being made are the Squire number 39, I believe, and possibly 37. But what's quite unusual about this lock is that it's got a brass laminated body. Because a big problem with these padlocks was, I have another one here, and this is actually a warded lock. I should maybe cover the strong lock series because there's quite a lot of different kinds. This is just a warded lock, but as you can see here, it's alright where that plastic would have once upon a time covered the body, but top and bottom it's just rusty, and so having the brass there would be a great improvement. And it's a 4-pin lock. There's a key. Now the key is quite incredibly small. It's absolutely tiny. I've never seen a key like this before, and pretty rubbish bitting, really. And it's only a 4-pin. I'm not exactly sure what this would be used for. They say strong lock, but I'm not exactly sure what they're intended for. Perhaps sheds, but this is a very small lock. I mean, it's probably It's a 30mm padlock, including a couple of mils for the plastic body. But that's definitely a very nice lock, and I'll maybe show this in a future video. Only single locking, and a very strong spring tension there. I'm surprised that the key hasn't broken. It must have been a common problem to have bent keys with these locks, because the spring tension is quite heavy. Anyway, I've been really busy recently, so if you've noticed a lack of videos, it's basically because I'm so busy. Now, I've got a lot of locks, and people have sent me loads of locks. I'm trying to get through them, and I'm trying to be as fair as I can. Andy actually sent me a whole bunch of challenge locks recently, and I couldn't do any videos on them because I just didn't have enough time, but I really did enjoy them, and if you do send me something and I don't pick it on camera, please don't be offended. It's just that I'm very busy, and especially so during the summer, so don't be offended. It's nothing to do with you. It's not because I didn't appreciate the lock. I know that I enjoyed it all the same, but just didn't share it on camera. But anyway, there's my lock haul. Apart from that, I haven't really been doing much else locksport related because, well, actually that's not true. I'll show you this. I made the pick quite some time ago, but I actually got some heat shrink, and this is one of my first heat shrink handles. I'm still practicing, and it's a bit messy, but it's not bad for being done with a lighter. And the shape of the hook isn't all that brilliant. As you can tell, I'm not really too worried about the finish, but as long as it works nicely. So that's what I've been getting up to, really. Can't really think of much else other than that to say. Oh yeah, congratulations to Tony S, if you're watching, on the birth of your child. Yes, I think that's about it. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you for bearing with me, for being patient, and hopefully we'll manage to get some more videos out there and get through some of these nice combination locks that Potty sent me. Really looking forward to showing some of those in video. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to me today, and yeah, bear with me, and I'll see you in my next video, whenever that is.